I
Yay!
I went on ahead and slept in till like 10 o'clock. It was wonderful. I love sleeping in. It's like a thing I haven't done in years. And so I'm like, wow, this is really amazing. My world is completely different. And so I went on ahead and just slept until like 10. It was brilliant. And then I got up and was fiddly farting around, and then Can messaged me and said, "How you feeling?" And I'm like, "I feel fine." And it's like, "Hey, you want to just get on stream because I'm working on my comic if you're working on yours?" And he's like, "Yep, I'm working on mine." So we figure might as well get broadcasting. So here we are. So that's the way it goes. So I'm trying to figure out where the heck I was before I decided all this brilliance was going on. Man, Dropbox is determined. I stopped using Dropbox about 2 years ago. And it keeps sending me reminders going, "You're almost going to lose your Dropbox. You know that, right? You're almost going to lose it. It's right on the edge. Only 300 more warnings before we disable it." You know,
Well, it's like my dad died, last year,
right?
and he was getting Wood Magazine in. And I think it was in May, I got one with this is the final notice. You need to pay us or else we'll cancel your subscription. I'm like, cancel it.
Yeah.
I'm not re-upping this.
Y-
And
y-
they still continue to send me.
Yep. So Brent missed the first part of this where I said, I woke up. I had taken I went on ahead and just slept until like 10 o'clock. It was amazing. And then I woke up and I started putting around and doing things. And I cleaned up, took a shower, all that stuff. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to work on my comic now. And Can's like, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm feeling fine. I'm going to work on my comic. Yeah, I'm working on my comic too. And I'm like, you want to get online? Yeah. So, yeah, here we are. There's no reason to apologize. I'm just simply saying you missed the explanation as to why we're broadcasting now. We've only been broadcasting for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So it's not like
So
you
it's
missed.
not like you missed that much.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm like, I'm already going to be doing this work. I'm already going to be doing this work. So you might as well just do it. So here you are. Here we are. Well, here's Colton.
It's Colton.
And here's Colton. I'm like, here I am. Here you are. And here's Colton. How you doing?
There we go.
Oh, there you are. Now we can hear you.
All right. Just doing schoolwork.
Just doing schoolwork, so you might as well.
Yeah, I have a week off, so from work.
Oh yeah, there you go. I inadvertently got the week off too.
Inadvertently.
Yeah. Well, not from my actual not from making the comic or anything, but yeah, because I got COVID. Ha ha.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. It actually was just the mild variant.
That's what I heard. I heard that the new variant's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not horrible. I mean, I don't suspect. I mean, I suspect that a lot of this was just luck, and I'm, triple vaxxed and boosted. And
hey, Brent.
So I'm assuming that that's mostly the reason why it wasn't horrible.
Right.
But you're also not immune.
But I'm also not immune, which I had started to believe was happening after 3 years. I'd been in rooms with people who everybody else got the stupid thing and I didn't. And so I was like, I guess I must have the genetic markers to be immune to it or something. And nope. The funny part is that my wife still thinks she is. And this
she's immune?
Help. Yeah, because she didn't catch it this time either. And now I'm like, no, come on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I'm aware. We're not. I'm not, not trying to be. I'm just saying it's interesting, the false sense of security, that how easy the false sense of security can set in.
Yeah.
That
Right.
interests me and it intrigues me. Because it was. I mean, I've never been a denier or anything like that. I believe fully in vaccines. Like I said, triple vaccinated. You know, I even got the I'm over 50 vaccination because
Over 50 vaccination.
I'm over 50, so
Is that a thing?
yeah, over 50 you need they want you to have another one. So
hey, it's better for you to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yep, exactly. But either way, you know.
See, I told you.
I can't tell whether he's talking to me or the person.
Oh no, he's on the phone
well, guess
too.
what? We're watching
he's on the
out
phone.
for your health. You're getting the finger point. You're getting the finger.
I can't tell because whoever he's talking to on the phone is also like he's talking about the same thing as what he was just talking
doing
to
all
me.
the fun.
Yeah, he's talking on the phone. He's not listening.
I know, but it sounds like he's talking to me. It's still pertinent.
Brent, are you talking about that very hyper realistic photo game that we were talking about?
All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Was that Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah, I think that's the one we were talking about.
The funniest part.
Yeah, that one. I'm not gonna lie. That game, like, there was a lot of it. I was like, this doesn't look real. Like, it looked too real.
Yeah, was it the
to
one
be considered a game at the time? And that's why, and also like the angles and all that stuff that it was going for. I thought it was all VR. He's still
I was gonna say, was that the one where they're going through like the abandoned warehouse or whatever?
Yeah, the shooter.
He has a pistol or whatever. Yeah, I saw that video too. And
how was your conversation, Brian?
That was actually, I was waiting for that. So
okay.
Today was alpaca shearing, and my mom went up to go help them. And she's been eating a cane lately because she's getting arthritis in her back, and she hasn't been taking her cane. Well, she snuck out this morning without taking her cane with her.
Mm-hmm.
So when my brother left to head to Longmont, I had him drop her cane off to her. So she was calling me to tell me what bad form that was.
Okay, so that was the other part of the conversation we were missing. Got it.
Well, it was funny because we were talking about how it was pertinent to both your mom and me, because it was the same discussion you were having with me about COVID. So it was like, we were like, well, that fits either way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like what you're saying right there, Brent. Yeah, that's totally right there with the.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing, man?
Oh, hey, Jerry. But yeah, no, what you were saying with the. Yeah, there was some things that like definitely threw me off, but also like I thought it was VR just because of how the angle of the camera was for the player.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, is this VR? And you're like, no, this is Unreal 5. And I was like, what the heck are they doing?
Yeah, exactly.
The photo capturing and everything makes so much sense. But yeah, the slight graphic side of like the flashlights, how certain things were not properly loading properly, I guess is a good way to say it. Like some of the reloads that they were doing, some of the actions with the arms didn't look right, which I was like, this is why I was like, how are they doing this? Is this being purposely like video wise? But it makes sense now once I've realized everything that they can do in VR. I was like, oh, wow.
Moreover, when I saw that the first time, I was actually really worried the first time somebody bolted and they started firing because it was so real. I was like, is this like one of those, cutesy, I'm going to pretend like we're doing a video game, videos that they make where they take the camera and they stick their hand in front with a gun and wander through an old abandoned building. And then I see shells coming off the gun and I'm like, whoa, you guys are firing live rounds? And like for
Yeah.
the first few seconds, I was like, "Holy crap! You guys like really scared me there."
I was really
He's
confused there when I first heard it. I was like, what the heck's going on? Like, I was like, this is
And
really
then the
good
first
cinematography
reload
for a
was the
second.
first time. Yeah, when he reloads the first time, it looked like animation. And so I was
That's
like,
where it threw me off too. I
and
was
then
like,
I was
hold
like,
up.
"Oh, okay. This is a
Oh,
this
hey,
is a
it's
game."
Cat too.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, it was like the first reload. I was like, what the heck? Like, are they purposely trying to make it look like a video game?
Right, because that looked like that was
Yeah, because he was sitting there like pulling the slide like 3 times. I was like, what the?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And the smoke was from the gun was exactly.
Yeah, like that's why I was like, okay, this is
first guy
weird.
bolts to the side, and he goes blah 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 blah, and he just takes shots, and I see shells coming off of there, and I'm like, whoa 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 whoa. I'm like, wait. It was a little unnerving. Okay, I think
Yeah, that's why I was like, this is okay. I'm confused. I was very confused at the time, going, what is this? Like, why? Okay.
Here we go again. Hey, Cat. I'm still getting this. Is this something that I should be worried about? Every time I use my Surface, it gives me this. And so I hit deactivate and launch on this device. And then when I come back here, it does it again. Like it now needs me to deactivate and launch it on this device.
Is that for clip?
Something they're going to fix, or is this the nature of the beast?
You can only do that so many times.
Right. But I mean, are they going to fix it? I've got the perpetual license.
Oh, so you're paying the subscription?
No, perpetual license is a one-time pay.
Oh, nice.
Yes, but the perpetual license allows for 2 computers. Or did they decide that that wasn't the thing?
I just work here.
Yeah, right?
I'm Batman.
Okay, so you mean at some point in time this is going to stop working and it'll be glued to one or the other of my machines? You know, if it's only $15, I'll do it. That's annoying and stupid, but let's see what it says. Yeah, because I went for the one-time purchase update. Yeah, it warns me that it only does this.
Open source.
Right. Yeah, I'll go open source as soon as somebody makes Manga Studio that works on my PC. Okay. Account. Not up here though. No, it's gonna be. Is it here? Okay. I feel like they're nickel and diming me, but $15 isn't really a big deal. Unless it's $150, at which time it is a big deal. You know, I'll argue with them to the end of the earth if it's more than $15, but if it's just this, if it's $15, I'll pay it. I'll grumble.
I'll grumble.
I don't know where account. Yeah, got it. Okay.
He's gonna get his grumbly pants going.
Yeah, you know how that goes. Okay. So now, where are we? Currently, I do not have a plan.
Sometimes that's the best plan.
Right? I know. Plan management. Yep. So my license is perpetual. Probably shouldn't be broadcasting my license number out there, but you know, you get the idea. Yeah, you have it monthly. Perpetual version, one-time purchase. Okay. It doesn't seem to have any options except a perpetual version one-time purchase or monthly usage plans. I don't seem to have an option for anything else. That's very strange. Which may explain, by the way, why it has let me do this like 50 times so far. Because, of course, every time I go anywhere and launch on my Surface, it gives me that warning to disable the license there and re-enable it there. And I'm wondering whether that's a thing. I don't know. I don't see any options to add another machine. I just see my license says Clip Studio Paint EX. I can click it up there. I can select it. That's all. Whoa, 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 whoa. People stop talking. There we go. Everybody started adding things there. Oh no. There we go. I'll go there. Yeah, that's the same thing. So that's what I've got here. And it says one-time purchase, and it says $50. I mean, even if I click it here, but that's the same thing I was getting pretty much. So I mean, if I hit purchase, maybe it's just, you know, I already have version 1, right? One-time purchase, I already have that, right? Monthly, no. Update pass, no. Version for one time, discounted version upgrade, no. Because this is what I went with right here. Upgrade, one-time purchase from debut. 12-month license, no. Volume licenses, gold membership. Yeah. Maybe they changed things. So what, I don't know what I should do. I mean, it still works. It worries me because I'm worried that somewhere along the line, yeah, I'm worried that what they're going to say is, yeah, we used to let you do that, but we don't let you do that anymore. Now that you've already upgraded. So you can't downgrade back down to version 1.
That's probably true.
downgrade to version 1, but unless they don't want to.
Or do the whole, are you sure?
Yeah.
See you,
Well, it's good
Jerry.
to see you, Jerry. Anyway, I miss you, man. Just saying.
Is he still out in like Texas?
Yeah, he's out in Houston.
Yeah.
He's near Mecca. He's near the Mecca. He's near Johnson Space Center. Yeah, I should. The thing that makes me so mad is I like that 2 finally got like the text thing figured out. Version 1, I literally built my entire comic, then exported it to Photoshop so I could do all the text. And version 2 fixed that, so I don't need to go to Photoshop anymore. And my Photoshop usage has dwindled down to the point where I'm almost tempted to just drop out of Creative Cloud and stay with Lightroom only, because I need that for my work. But that'd be $20 as opposed to 50.
Yeah, so that'd save you some money.
So, you know, I'm kind of, so it's like one of those, if they've made it so that I have to pay them instead the $30, then it's like, well, you've made it so that it's still more convenient for me to keep Photoshop around. You know, it's like, oh, that's gonna make me mad. Oh well. So how you doing, Colton?
Just stressed.
School?
Feel like I don't have enough time for any of the things I need to do.
Well, we're here for you. I mean, you can stay here and, you know, hang with us and at least get work done.
Yeah.
I think since the last time you were here, we actually discovered that this is an actual word, that there's a thing called body doubling, which is something ADDers do, where they sit with other people just to get work done.
Yeah. I remember that's actually, I think that's the reason why I used to go to Thursdays so often, was because if everybody was, actually, I think I learned that after Denver Drink and Draw.
Yeah.
Was because if we went to Drink and Draw at Leela's, it was either a work night or a party night. And if everybody started partying, I kind of jumped into the party atmosphere.
Right.
But if it was all of us were working, we'd all be sitting down, doing stuff, talking, but we're all working.
Yep. Well,
and I usually do that a lot.
Actually,
like, I realize that's a big thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
I'm trying to find that against the hardest.
Well, that's what this is for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 'cause, like, that's what we're here for, is like, if we're all here and we're all together,
mm-hmm.
then we don't, you know, wander. I mean, I might get up and go make lunch in a little bit, but.
Did you guys actually, I was curious, did you guys go check out Decaf Expo?
No, I found out about it too late.
Yeah, same. I found out, I think, like that weekend, and I was like, oh, I'm going to see if I can make it. I just wasn't able to make it over there.
Yeah, I found out about it just a little too late. I had already been scheduled for work by the time that I found out, so. And I kind of wish I had gone instead, because apparently I caught COVID for my kids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I got called into work. I was mandated to work that Saturday. So I went into work, and I didn't get out till like 3.
Yeah.
So, and I had stuff I had to do for school. Like, I had to go find a piece at the Museum of Art to write about and things like that. And they were getting ready to close at 5. So I was like, I have to make sure I'm down there to make enough time. And then I was like, I'm not going to make it. And then I finally, like, it was around 4:30. I was like, yeah, by the time I get down there, it's going to be closing.
So you mean you went to the Denver Art Museum?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, see, that has been. So did I ever tell you that was like the funniest thing when we were 4th grade? Because the
Denver Art Museum is their initials are damn. Yeah.
So they would give you the little buttons that you wore that said damn on them, and we could say damn without our teachers getting mad at us. And we thought we were so cool because 4th grade.
Fight the system.
Right. It was
We can't
so
say bad
funny,
words, but now we can.
right? And it was like, and every time anybody, and especially now that Christina works there, I'm like constantly going, damn, and I think I'm so clever, and I'm not. But it's my
Oh yeah, I
internal
forgot that
fourth
she works
grader,
there. I forgot about that.
right?
She
But
just
it's my
started over
internal
there,
fourth
right?
grader. This is growing up in Colorado, guys. This is Colorado life.
Right.
We all think we're stupid clever by saying "damn" about the Denver Art Museum.
I'm glad
really
she
we're
got that
just
job. That's a
dumb.
good job for her.
Yeah, that was perfect. Could not be more perfect for her. Could not be more perfect.
I forgot about that. I remember seeing it and I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, like going to Casa Bonita and getting food poisoning. I actually attribute the fact that my stomach is pretty ironclad to the fact that I ate at Casa Bonita.
Just once.
Right?
Yeah.
I've been there a
built
few
an
times.
immunity.
That's why I was like, I think I'm fine.
Well, no. I mean that was a thing that they used to do in Jefferson, especially in Jefferson County schools,
Mm-hmm.
because we would,
Field trips.
yeah, it would be a field trip to Casa Bonita, which I guess they filed it under, either cultural something or I don't know. I have no
Something.
idea how they justified it. But I mean, like it was when we went to Skate City too. It was like, how did you? I mean, okay.
I'm really curious what they're gonna do, like whenever he opens and all that. I'm really curious what's gonna happen because they actually hired a chef,
Yeah,
an actual chef. So it's not this microwave meals anymore.
as an older guy now, as an actual adult, I'm actually kind of glad that the food won't kill you.
It was
know what
more
I mean?
the like I'm really curious what they did to the place because I know there was a lot of codes that never got kept up, and that place should have been condemned apparently, from what I heard.
Yeah, there was stuff.
That's why I was
in
like,
there.
oh, because when they bought it, they went through and health code was like, yeah, no, and he's like,
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, right.
So now they
didn't
had
know
to
that
go
was
in and
what was
fix it
gonna have
all.
to happen. Except that, and that's actually kind of one of the reasons why I want to go now, is because I kind of feel bad for them. We all kind of pressured the guys into buying it, and then they bought it, and they bought a lemon effectively. And so I'm kind of feeling like once it opens, we all should go, especially if we pressured them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, especially if we gave them the pressure to make them buy it and stuff like that. It is part of our childhood.
I think they did it more like, yeah, they did it out of like the pressure part, but also like part of them always wanted to buy it, I think.
I think so too. But I
They
still
just
feel
never
like-
got around to it.
Yeah.
And then finally everybody's like, just do it. And they're like, oh, all right. But yeah, I want to go. I want to go check it out. But my biggest one is I want to go do location sketching here soon.
So, Casa Bonita is right next to Memento Mori.
Oh yeah, the drawing play. That's
Yeah.
Sundays, right? First
Yeah,
Sundays?
that's the first Sunday of the month.
That's. Oh wait, we're halfway through the month now. Dang.
Yeah, it was last weekend.
Yeah. How was it?
I didn't go because I had COVID.
Because of COVID. Got it.
Yeah, I couldn't go. So I love.
I still
it,
want to go
you
to
know?
that. I've never been to it. I've always
And-
wanted to.
Yeah, and of course I just got scheduled to work through the 1st of June as well, so I'm gonna miss that one as well.
Oh no.
I told my boss that I'm open now for scheduling. I've been on sort of active reserve during the school year because I take
Yeah.
care of my kid, make sure he gets to work, and I want to finish these comics and things like that.
Right.
So I stayed on active reserve, and she only called me in whenever there was nobody could take this class. Can you please take this class? Sort of thing. Well, I told her, okay, now that the school year is ending, I'm going off of active reserve. Well, then she immediately scheduled me, but the school year hasn't ended yet. So now I'm working all these weekends, and I'm like, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. It's
When's the school
okay.
year done for you? That's what, in like a week or two?
It depends on the school. I think the kiddos' school ends in 2 weeks, and then my wife's school ends in 3.
Okay,
She's with
so
Boulder Valley. She's not with Jeffco.
oh,
So
because my school week is almost the last week, Like
Yeah.
22nd to the 26th, I think is my last week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not pulling up my calendar or anything, but I think we've got 2 weeks.
That's pretty much why like everything right now for us is it's all finals week, and I took this week off to
Just do the finals, get it out.
yeah. I always take off a week in May because of this, just so I can kind of focus on it and just get caught up on certain things. Like this paper I have to write, I still have to get caught up on that.
Right.
And
Jeff
because like
Bezos.
papers are annoying, and like I turned in my paper
Oh,
rough
possibly.
draft. This
This
title,
title
is confusing.
What's confusing, Stitch Silent?
What's wrong with the title?
Oh,
It'll say-
because it says when I stream, you stream, restream. So
Oh.
we're using a restreamer called Restream, and we stream every day. And Pepper's here. Pepper's feeling better. We use a restreamer, which is a website which allows us to broadcast to Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, and we are all over the place. And so it's a joke on the restreamer.
That makes more
Welcome to the
sense.
show. This is what we call body doubling. It's a show where a bunch of artists get together and we all work
A spicy pepper.
and we all keep each other kind of on task. I know, right? In one sentence. We are so weird. But yeah, you can join us if you've got work to do. We just sit here and chat with each other and keep each other kind of on task. And that's the point.
Try to.
So to my this way. On the left side of the screen there, you have Can. And actually, Can, I'll move you to the actual level that you're at. So Can's on the top row. I'm here on the left side, second row. Colton's working on the right side there. And then at the bottom is Pepper. And Colton's doing finals for school. He's in art school. Pepper is a watercolor artist. And I'm working on my comic script right here, right now.
Pepper's doing pepper things.
And at the top up there is actually working on his comic called Armageddon Divinity. I'm working on my comic called Bellatrix Rising. Both of our comics are, yep, and we've got a couple of other people in here. Hey, Jan. We've got a couple other people in here too. Kat is out working on her comic, which is called God's Bane, but she's at work right now, so she can't do that. But usually she joins us at night for that and does her work on God's Bane. So Brent is also here, and he works mostly in 3D printing, but I think he's at work as well, so he can't actually do his.
He's also like slightly our tech person sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes.
We usually
Okay,
just
a lot of times.
So, yep, and we've got to celebrate Kat, whose God's Bane manga has moved up to 7th place on Manga Plus, which is really cool. And
Oh,
we'll
I
see
saw
a new
that.
ranking
Congrats,
system.
Kat.
Yep,
Congrats.
literally less than 100 views. Kat, put it in the chat so that we can repop that information. So that people
Holy
can
hell!
Shit, what's that? Get me out of here.
Also, Kane's alpacas got sheared, so they're sheerly awesome now.
Yes,
So,
Sheerly
if you
awesome.
were doing work,
magically
you can join us
unhappy.
and just hang out with us, and we talk about stuff and things. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Make sure that I will also repop that just in case. There we go. Or serialized would be kick butt.
Whoa.
Well, we'll see. I'll help
I
you. as
hope
much-
you get it, man.
Yeah, I was say, well,
I got my fingers crossed for you, Kat. I hope you get that.
me too. That'd be so cool. Yep, Brent also does the web development side. He added a website for us, which is quasarartcollective.com. incoherent.art. Yes,
Oh, we have a website now? Oh, yeah, we do.
because Brent made it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Brent just one day said, "I'm going to make a website for you guys." I was like, "What?" Oh, Brent, I wanted to talk to you about that. So I was thinking the other day. So I was messing around with ChatGPT because I think ChatGPT is fascinating. And I had ChatGPT write up random articles from the world of Bellatrix Rising. I fed it bits of data and everything like that, and it wrote back these gorgeous articles about, you know, Kaitak games, that's their version of football in the future. Because I figure football of some sense or another would still be around 500 years from now, because it seems like even today tennis and all of those are roughly equivalent to the games that the Aztecs played. So I figured that, it would still be that kind of thing. So we made sort of a modified version, and I fed the rules to it, to the ChatGPT, and it wrote a little article on it. And I figure so long as it's not a direct part of the story, I'm not actually worried about it. But it's a good usage of ChatGPT for, just generating world. And like Kan and I was reading the article, or reading the article that they wrote, and Kan and I were both talking about how it adds a little bit of flavor and color to the universe, So anyway, I had it write a couple of these just randomly. And I was like, this is fascinating. It doesn't take a lot of effort, except that now I want to draw pictures to go with it. But that's beside the point. Anyway, so the question was, you think we could put something on the main page that was sort of like, the news today in Bellatrix Rising or whatever, and have it just constantly putting some tidbit of news, and every so often I'll preload something that's actually story related. What's this, the theme of Bellatrix Rising? Bellatrix Rising is a sci-fi that takes place 500 years from now.
Not so distant future.
In the distant future. Here, I'll bring up my...
Of 1987.
Yeah. There we go. That's it may be hard to read at this point in time because of the fact that... There we go. So that's my... Oh, now I'm in the way of it. Oh, so Brent has already written up the website. It's at quasarartcollective.art.
Don't forget the new challenges are on there too.
Challenges are on there as well. So, my comic, as far as the comic goes, I was thinking, okay, so let me back up a little, because I think I've gotten kind of into in a little deeply here. Let me back up. One of the things that I've been thinking about was, wouldn't it be interesting if my comic books world progressed in real time? Like it actually did something every day. Like something happened, you did a news report, you'd hear about, most of it being relatively mundane. Like the news ticker would say today that there was a coronal mass ejection in Bellatrix. So the all traffic on the the left quadrant of the star system needs to reroute. Stuff like that. So it's just normal, everyday kind of things. I need to say I will call you right back. And I will have to go talk to my wife in a second here, because that's what she's doing. She's calling on her daily call. So I thought, and it would just be mundane stuff, but every so often I'd put a little bit of a plot piece in there, just a little bit, so that you kind of see some of the rest of the universe in the comic world moving. So you keep saying that. I don't want a separate site. I just want to know if you could put a little ticker on the side of our existing. So I mean, you can make a Bellatrix Rising website if you really wanted to. I mean, I guess if you've got nothing better to do with your life, then yes, we could do a Bellatrix Rising website. But I was thinking it'd be kind of cool if it just had a ticker that every day, and it pulled from a database. So I would load the database with like 50 of them. And when it got down to 40 of them, it would email me and say, hey, refill your ticker. And I'd go refill it. And it would put in another 50 or 60. And then when it got down to a certain point, it would say refill. And then every day it would take the next one and post it up there as a news report. And it would, could have the capability to have a picture and text, but not big, not like a big thing, like a news blurb. Something similar to if you had a news ticker in your, like down here, when I get the news ticker here, this thing that brings up the dumb news ticker that now is permanently part of my thing. It says the weather here, and it's talking about, Pokemon Go is gone. Oh, that's something. But like all of this is just little news blips, like a news blipper right here. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to go call my wife. She's in transit between two schools. I'll be right back.
And then it goes quiet.
Mm.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
How are you doing, Pepper? I haven't heard from you in a bit.
It's good. It's still, so we were able to deduct that allergies this year for me are really bad. So we were able to determine that. So Saturday, with all that stuff, no, it wasn't contagious, but it's a good thing I stayed home. Just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
But it was basically if for the people who know, I'm allergic to pretty much everything. So sorry. Before I came on stream, there was a guy that knocked on my door, and I had to go answer because Bill couldn't. Just walking outside, it makes me cough and sneeze. So, basically, I got majorly hit. I ate something that was not something I was supposed to eat, and made me sick for the entirety of Saturday morning, and basically made me completely veggie on Sunday as well. So it's been an interesting few days, to say the least. But I feel better now. But I had to go outside. So now I starting to cough again, which I was trying to avoid. So did you sell all of your alpaca stuff?
I didn't quite sell out of it, but I sold quite a bit of it, and that kind of took me off guard. I wasn't expecting that to be the smash hit.
When I talked to the venue, they had mentioned the product that I have, the Oracle cards. They were saying that those would those would probably really sell very a lot. Um, um, so they they informed me that like their clientele from the the floral side would probably drive a lot of the sales of non-comic stuff. So
Yeah, well, plus
if
it
that
was
helps.
plus it was prom, so you had a lot of kids running in there along with Free Comic Day.
Yeah. Yep.
For what?
It was Free Comic Book Day this past
So
Saturday.
Free Comic Book Day landed on prom for Fort Collins.
Oh, got it. That makes more sense now. I was like, what about prom and Free Comic Book Day?
Yeah. So they yeah. That's pretty much where what happened. So I'm just glad that you had a good day.
Yeah, it was really interesting there, and got to have a long discussions with the other vendors that were there, and
You mean the other artists?
yeah. Well, they had an artist and a writer there.
Oh, okay. Do they work together?
Huh?
Did they work together or no?
No,
Oh, okay.
because they had Honor Vincent there, and they had
Well, I knew of her.
his
I
name
wasn't
was
sure.
Connor something or other.
They were at Wicked West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guy named Connor was there, and
I know.
Zoe.
Yep, Zoe. Zoe, actually, I run into a lot more often than I do Connor. She works at an art store I go to.
And apparently, like, Connor and Zoe always work together. No, but it was neat talking with them. So,
Oh.
you know, got to talk shop with a bunch of people I don't normally get to talk to, and that was really fun.
Cool. Well, that's good.
But yeah, from what I was hearing, it was busy all up and down the Front Range for Free Comic Book Day.
Pretty much. I mean, it's a big deal for a lot of people.
I also think it was a bigger deal than normal because of COVID. You know, people are now tired of it. They want to go back to normal.
Yeah.
And then also the CDC also said that it was not a problem anymore, or a dire problem anymore.
I love it. They made that announcement, and then they had a convention, and everybody at the convention got COVID.
Well, I mean, it's all on how you want to really look at it. Like you can, like if you know that you're not feeling well, just make the conscious decision to stay at home. Don't get anyone else sick, and just be a decent human being.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was funny that the CDC at their own convention had a COVID outbreak.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, it's not the first time that's happened though. Like during the actual pandemic, they actually had a thing that they did, and people got COVID even then too. So,
yeah.
What it boils down to is, again, precautions about conventions.
Yep.
That's all it really is.
That's why after Wicked West, I went, okay, I'm quarantining until further notice.
Yeah.
Because I want to protect my friends from this.
I'm actually trying to play catch up on my own art challenge for May. Oh.
I'll be right back.
What's your art challenge?
Monster May.
Oh, okay.
So, so basically, I've been doing it mainly in stories. So, the day one was Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, nice.
Then the bride.
Oh, cool.
Dracula.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
Yeah, sorry. It's all done in pink. I don't know why. I just want to do some sketching. Invisible Man.
Oh, okay.
Phantom of the Opera.
Ooh.
And Wolfman.
Nice.
So, right now I'm on Boris Karloff's The Mummy.
Cool.
Which is different than Brendan Fraser's Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
There's callbacks to it. But yeah, I'm just trying to catch up because I have, after this one, I have The Creature from the Black Lagoon and Hunchback of Notre Dame to get caught up for today. And then tomorrow I have a werewolf.
Okay.
Then The Invisible Woman is on the 11th. Dracula's Daughter is on the 12th. And Dr. Jekyll is on the 13th.
Nice. Gonna draw Maeve.
So, how's everything going with you, Colton? I haven't talked to you in a night while.
It's been a minute. Good. So far, just school, work, trying to uphold relationships.
Trying to not hold relationships?
Trying to hold relationships, but we'll see.
They're overrated. Says the person who's married.
I know, I was gonna say, says the married one. Nah, that's the hardest part, is that, like, with school, work, like, work's crazy right now. And that's just because the whole company's merging as of next year.
With who?
FedEx?
Amazon is
No, so you know how FedEx has all of its subsects? FedEx Office, FedEx Freight,
Yeah.
FedEx Express, at Ground. All of that is merging by June of next year.
So it's just going to be one FedEx?
Yep. So, with that said, we don't know if we have jobs coming then.
Gotcha.
Because FedEx Ground, specifically, it's all contracted. All their drivers and all that are all contracted. Express, Freight, and all them were actually employed by FedEx.
Yeah, that's why I don't like using FedEx for shipping.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want me to be honest with you, I don't like FedEx. I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. I just want them for the benefits, but we might be losing all of our benefits because of it. So,
Yeah, that sucks.
and that's kind of where all of us, even the guys that have been there for like 30 plus years, like, it's going to be a rough peak season for us because all the people that are 5 years from retirement right now are retiring this year after they heard they're all merging.
Oh, shit.
So,
Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't the night show. I'm not allowed to question.
so yeah, we have no idea what's going to happen with our jobs and if we're actually going to have jobs.
Yeah.
And what peak's supposed to look like this coming year and what's going to happen and whatnot. So we're kind of all waiting to find out. And that's, I guess, a majority of my stress too, is like I've put in 3 years at this company, and right off the bat I'm like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore.
Gotcha.
Like the only reason I've been here is because of the benefit side of it, like the school reimbursement, being able to transfer when I need, like when I'm able to, I can transfer wherever I need to. Things like that. That's all going to be gone, and we don't know what's going to happen with all that.
That right there just seems like kind of like they're shooting themselves in the foot.
It's the investors. It's all capitalism. The investors are forcing it. They're like, nope, this is what we want. If you want our money still to keep the company going, this is what you're going to have to do. Pretty much they're trying to turn us into a UPS, but without the union.
Yeah.
If the union was already in place, they would not be able to do half the things they've been doing this past year. So
yeah, it's like most Walmart, like most of Walmart Corporation, they're not allowed to unionize, and if they do, the store, it's like local stores, localized to certain specific stores.
Yeah.
So it's like, and if they do, they have to. Everyone has to agree to it. So like every single worker has to vote.
Pretty much sign off on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at, is that we need enough people to do that, to even consider it, but we also need a good union to actually really back us on it. So,
well, not just a good union, you need a good union representative to be in the meetings for those decisions as well.
Yeah.
Which I hate to say, that's even more difficult.
Yep, that's kind of where we're at. I have a friend that's been trying to. I've talked to him, and he's been trying to get it going. But I'm like, if you find anything, let me know. I am totally up to helping everybody here keep their jobs.
Yeah.
Because it's not right if literally everybody that's put in all these years with this company all get canned because of everything, you know?
Yeah, no, I know.
And that's kind of where we're all at, but I just don't know what we're doing, where we're going, what's going to happen. Because I was going to use all this just to get where I need to be with school and all that too. And now I'm kind of like, well, I don't even know if that's even going to be a possibility.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Mind you, these are not supposed to be finished illustrations. These are supposed to just be sketches.
Kind of see it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm getting out of my comfort zone, so.
That's always good.
Ugh.
That's the whole, like, same thing, like, what was it, Thursday? I was hanging out on a Zoom call with my teachers and whatnot. We kind of went over some of the things I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they ripped into me, which I was happy for.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely, I came out with more information and also realizing where I'm at and what I need to do to get to where I want to be.
At least you have.
And it was impromptu. It was impromptu. It was not actually planned. It was like, hey, yeah, just show us. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. At least you have helpful teachers like that while you're in.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing, because it was what, Thursday? I was supposed to meet with one of my teachers on Zoom, but I forgot about it because he has a time change. He was in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And he replied at like 3 o'clock in the morning because that's when they're awake. So he was like, yep, we'll meet Thursday. And I was like, oh, okay. He must mean next Thursday since today's technically Friday for you.
Yeah.
By the time you actually reply back to me, it's going to be Friday. And then he contacted me after. He was like, where are you at? I was like, I could have sworn you meant next Thursday. I am terribly sorry. So now we rescheduled for this Thursday. So we're actually meeting this Thursday. But he knows the people I was hanging out with. So like I was talking to them at the exact same time when we were having that conversation. And he brought it, and they were like, oh, well, let's just see what he's like. What are you trying to show him and like get information on? And it was just like, what are my next steps is literally where I was trying to go with it.
Yeah.
with our actual meeting was like, what is my next steps to actually trying to get this into a career field?
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of where they were like, all right. And then we kind of went through all my stuff I did for that class. And then they went through it with like a fine tooth comb real quick and like sent me a whole bunch of videos, a whole bunch of stuff to like research and like figure out what I'm doing wrong, what I need to be doing. And I was like, oh no, this is actually there. And one of them came back. It's like, I hope we weren't like terrible on you. I was like, no, you were great. Actually, I learned a lot. And it's a lot of things I need to know.
I mean,
I'm back,
all I
sorry.
know is, whatchamacallit, like, from my experience of school, per se, mine weren't that helpful. Mine were like, if you missed it, you missed it. Good luck.
Yeah. Figure out how to get in your own way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the part I was like, I really like, that's kind of the reason I kind of like a lot of the teachers at this school is because a lot of them will do this. If they see that you're willing to put in the legwork and willing to actually try and make it to where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
like they will help you out as much as possible as long as you're willing to listen.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
good.
at the same time, like the experience that you had, that was my first stint through college back in 09, 2010, was all the teachers were pretty much like throwing up walls every time I try and like understand something more and
Back in the
like just finish the
Oh.
project. I'm like, I don't,
When
but I
was-
want to know past the project.
when I was young and not so,
You know.
Yeah, no, I had teachers straight up would be like, that's good and all, but you didn't need to do all this extra work. Like, but it was your assignment. What do you
Right.
mean extra work? These are
It was
all,
all in the
requirements for
criteria
your
for this assignment.
Like, they were like, well, technically I can't fail you because you hit every single point. Here's your A. And I'm
Wow.
like, wow, so I just get an A by default because I got all of the stuff you required. Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
I
What state
actually
were you
had,
in when you
like,
went to school?
two teachers like that.
What state was that?
Florida.
Oh, okay, it was in Florida. I thought so. I wanted to make sure. I was like, I think it was in Florida. Whoa.
it's to me. Don't worry about it.
I know. It's like, that's a reply.
Yeah, he's been typing it while I was on the phone with my wife.
Nice.
More of a landing page.
But yeah, it was kind of the same ones I had here when I went to community college for it. And I was just like, you guys really aren't really helping at all.
Well,
I took a Photoshop class. I remember this one specifically. Is I took a Photoshop class. I did the assignment he wanted. It was making a CD cover. I made a CD cover, and it was a 2-week assignment. I was done with it within the first week, just because it was primarily photo bashing. That's all we were doing.
Yeah.
And I bashed it all together. It looked great for what the assignment was. And he told me, he's like, well, I'm not a big fan of this. Like, I don't really like where you're going with it. I was like, all right, that's fine. And I just didn't touch it. He's like, I want you to keep redoing it. I'm like, all right. I just didn't touch it. We got to that next Friday when we were turning everything in, or Monday, whatever day it was. And we had to do a presentation in front of the class. I presented the exact same piece I showed him a week prior, and I was like, this is what I had. This is where I was going with it. And everybody's like, that's amazing. I really like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I really love how you went with all that. I'm like, you totally are backtracking because everybody else in the room is agreeing with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I found school to be an interesting thing. So the
Yeah.
thing that burned me out, and I saved the pieces, it's been years since this happened. I went to CU Boulder right out of high school and wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I just took random classes. They let you do that for your first year. If you hadn't figured out a major or whatever, you could just pick random classes. So I did. I picked Japanese. I picked an art class, Art 101, because I was curious what Art 101 would have looked like. And I can't remember what else. I took like 2 other classes that were just kind of random. Oh, Physics 101. Because I was like, maybe I want to go into astrophysics, right? I completely crashed physics because physics was in this lecture hall, which I had never even seen a room like this. The room was one of those where the guy was like really tiny at the very end of the room with like 16 chalkboards that could all move. And then the hall was like a amphitheater, so it was seats going up for an eternity. Oh man, as an ADDer, not only was his voice echoing off of every possible surface, I couldn't hear him, I couldn't understand him. I was in a dark room with, like a million miles away from the teacher. It was brutal. So I crashed that class. And then my art class is the same thing. We went through all these different styles. I was doing great. Then the teacher said, "This is cool, but I don't like this big-eyed style you're using. So do something else." And I was like, "Okay," because I had been drawing anime since high school, but this was 1992, so people didn't know what anime really was in the mainstream. So it was very niche. So she.
And it was also at that time they were like, it's not art,
right?
Actually, I can actually answer what you were probably going through because I'm going to sit down for this because it's loaded. So when I went to school was the early 2000s, so like 1999, 2000 area. I literally had a teacher that said anything with anime art will be an auto fail.
Yeah, well, this was before that. But,
the reason for it being is depending on your major would be whether it was acceptable or not acceptable.
Well, yeah, actually, it was. Most art, I've run into this even when I went back to college in 05.
Yeah.
I've noticed that the big thing is that they call it pop culture art.
Yeah.
And they reject pretty much all of it. If you're drawing Batman, they'll reject that too.
Yeah.
But I do need to finish. I need to talk to Brent at some point here, but let me finish my story. So anyway, we went through all these different things. So I was getting A's for everything, right?
Mhm.
I pretty much, and I was getting to the point where after she had said that initial thing, I stopped drawing anything anime wise and started drawing it in a realistic format. And that was pretty easy for me. I did exactly what she told me to do. But then I was like, but she's just giving me an A for everything. And I'm like, either I am acing college 101 art, which is entirely plausible, or something's fishy here. So then she went to impressionistic, and I'm like, this is the most ridiculous art style ever. It's silly. And she was like, well, indulge me. Oh, okay. So I got my like felt tip pens, my multicolored felt tip pens, and just drew, like, I had these templates which different made different symbols and things like that. They were my dad's templates for drafting, and he'd given me a whole bunch of them. And so I had them with me in my art bag. So I pulled them out and I just took my felt tip pens and in different colors drew like, little moons and little stars and lines and dots. And then I made up some story on the fly about how this was the inner turmoil of the plight of the whales. I can't even remember what I made up, but I made up something. And so she stamped them all A's. And I was like, I literally just took felt tip pens and drew lines. I mean, I really didn't even have a mission when I started. I didn't have a mission. I had no, and then made up some story, and it wasn't even relative to the picture. And that was when I was like, I'm very disappointed in this class. Because it took all the wind out of my sails. I thought we were doing something, I thought we were on a mission. We were doing something, and then it was that. Hey Brent, so it's okay. The only reason I don't want to do a Bellatrix Rising website is solely because I don't have any spoons left to maintain a Bellatrix Rising website. So if you're into this big thing of making websites, I don't have a problem with you getting BellatrixRising.art and making a website. I just don't want to maintain it. I'm even willing to at some point like toss money your way if I ever make money, but toss money your way and stuff like that. I'm totally on board with that plan. I didn't want you to think that I didn't want it. I just my thought was that, and actually, it might not be a bad idea to have a Bellatrix Rising website so that it literally could just say, in the story, when I release a comic, something big happens in the comic, and at the same day, the news flash, this thing has happened or whatever, which fits with the story. I think that'd be kind of fun. But so anyway, that's all. I just wanted you to know that I'm not opposed to a website. I just am opposed to maintaining one. I don't have the spoons. So if you are up for it, I am totally on board with it. I'm not going to complain, which is also one of the reasons, by the way, why I'm grateful for the Quasar Art Collective website. Thank you. But I'm like, you're like, do you have any questions, options? I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's all good. It's beautiful. I loves it.
I'll be right back.
Only thing is, I think that we might want to take the contest rules and contextualize them, because you kind of land on the Quack page and then go, look at all these rules for contests. Is that what Quack does? Is contests? So that might be something we want to look into. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overwrite you guys. Everybody goes all quiet when I start talking, and then I get all nervous. Silence.
Well, yeah, you were talking. We didn't want to go over you.
That's fair. My wife says hi to everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
And now she's going to go deal with... that's fair. She and I were just talking about... she wants to get a teacher's license.
You want to get a teacher's license?
Yeah, she's got a Montessori teacher's license, which is not
Oh,
actually...
I was like, I thought she had one.
Teacher's license. She can only work in Montessori schools right now. So if she wants, she's actually looking at getting a state of Colorado teacher's license. And I think that's a wonderful idea. And I said, so we were talking about that. And I said, here's the thing. We know I haven't had a whole lot of luck getting jobs out there. And I would love to get a teacher's license as well, but I cannot. And we'll have to figure that problem out when we get to that stage. So I said, just so long as you're not doing the thing that, makes you mad, don't get mad. So we're working on that one. Okay. Yeah, don't get started on anything unless you really are gung-ho. Because I think if I were to do it, I would probably call it, what did I call it? The Arapanet? What do we call? There's a name for Bellatrix Rising's internet.
Comcast.
Comcast is the name of Bellatrix Rising's internet.
Bellatrix Rising Comcast.
Bellatrix Rising's Comcast. There's a name for it. I put it somewhere. I think I put it in the Daily Show folder. Astronet. That's what it was called. We haven't heard anybody reference it yet because on the other side of the wall, the Astronet's not so good. So nobody is actually talking about it while they're in Moment, because Moment's not a good place to try to access the Astronet. That sounds good to me. We can talk about it tonight. We lost our music.
Well, I will try to figure that shit out later. So Sorry, I'm just gonna move.
It's all good. There we go. I like the music stuff. The music guy.
But yeah, to finish up what I was saying to you, Pepper, though, I was like, yeah, I've been seeing this girl, and it's always rocky every time I try and see someone I'm in school.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's where I was actually going with that conversation at the beginning of it. But hey.
I was totally
No,
on
it's fine.
one with a girl. So, there's that.
I figured that's what was going on, but I didn't really.
That's one
really
thing.
say
The other
much.
part's work, and then me trying not to fail this class again.
Yeah.
And it's an English class, which it's not an art class. So the art classes I'm always fine. It's always the English, and the classes that aren't are the art part of it. Always just I either just put them off to the back burner when it's too late, be like, oh well, I'm failing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that last week, and now I'm kicking myself in the butt for it.
Now you're regretting your life choices.
Yeah. No, I knew so many people that I went to school with that basically had like wild relationship trips, especially art school for some weird reason.
Uh-huh.
Has even more dramatic shifts in their relationships.
That's so weird.
And everyone's like, oh, that's not true. I'm like, I watched a girl bounce from like guy to guy to guy to guy to guy to guy.
Keep going
And
back.
then she got a guy that went through her. And like she had to drop out because it was that bad.
Damn.
I also went to school in Miami, and at the time, that's where the porn industry was big.
I'm just saying.
So I went
Are you
to
serious?
school with I went to school with a lot of girls that ended up, in order to get money for college, they did porn.
I've seen that too. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Well, in that same, not porn specifically, but yeah, I've had some friends that are like, they were strippers just to get through college.
Yeah, no, I went to school with a few male and female strippers.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's funny because when I do talk to someone that I went to school with back then, everyone brings up the people that basically, like, if they're still talking to all of the people that I'm bringing up right now.
Yeah.
And most of them won't talk to the friends that they had in college.
Because they don't want to remember that lifestyle.
Right, right.
Oh, that's sad.
I get that.
It's so sad.
I
No,
understand
no,
it, though. I think it's
honestly-
funny, but that's hilarious.
Honestly, we did a lot of legwork. A lot of people in my friend circle back then, they did a lot of defending these people. And then in the end, these people just stopped communicating with us all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like-
that's what I'm saying. It sounds sad to me. I mean, it's just sad.
Hey, guy, your volume's really low.
Hey.
Yeah, Guy, your
Yeah.
volume is extremely
That's part of
low.
the problem. How about if I turn up my volume?
Hey,
where it's
there you
supposed to
are.
be?
It works.
Amazingly, my board is really sensitive. Like,
You're
it was
sounding
only
normal.
down just a couple of millimeters, but apparently the board's really sensitive. So sorry. Anyway, all I was just saying was that's sad.
Right.
I didn't have anything. But thank you for telling me that.
It's not like, I mean, I'm not saying that what they did was wrong or anything. I think that they had to do with what they had to deal with. I went to an international college, so a lot of those people couldn't get normal jobs because they were on student visas.
Mm.
So when you're on a student visa in America, you can't have a job.
Yeah.
You have to rely on your parents to send you money all of that stuff. And some of the people I went to school with, like their parents couldn't afford to continuously do that. So they had to do some stuff that basically got them money and kept them in school.
Yeah.
And I went to a year-round art college, so basically classes were always in session. So
Yeah. It always just kind of makes me sad when you're forced to do stuff you don't want to do, or it's not in your.
oh no, they said they completely had fun doing it. They would do it again.
There is absolutely nothing wrong with that if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Some people are really big into hard labor, right? I mean, like they love to go out and move stuff around and big rocks and rah rah rah.
That reminds me, you're coming over to my house, right, to do that rock project, guy?
Right, exactly. I'm not into hard labor. Therefore, if you forced me into a job where I'd be like just as irritated, you know. I'd probably still do it. I mean, I'd definitely still do it, but I'd be annoyed by it. So
yeah.
No, I get that. No, it's kind of like one reason like I'm still in the jobs I'm always in is because like, I know they're there. They're easy to get, easier to get.
Yeah.
And they usually pay all right.
I mean, like even the things like you're talking about there with FedEx, for the most part, I'd enjoy that job too because I like to drive.
Yeah.
So I'd enjoy the driving around in the truck. I'd be like, I'm in a box truck. Look at me driving a box truck.
Yeah. It's not a bad job. It's just like a lot of people, they get into it and they don't realize what really the actual job consists of.
Yeah.
Because there is customer service. There is all this other stuff that you still got to consider because if you lose your customers, your route gets smaller and smaller.
Are you the reason that we lost our customers? Because that's not good.
Yeah. Which they don't even look at that anymore. They don't even care anymore. I've seen so many people come in and out of this place lately. I'm like, how do you have a job?
Right.
But it is what it is.
Well, it's kind of like what I said earlier on. I don't use FedEx. I try to avoid FedEx at all costs. I don't
blame you. I don't blame you at all. The things I've been seeing recently, like I don't blame people for not wanting to use us. I see the company going under real fast because they don't want to do the proper legwork that they're supposed to, which is also look at their management. And they don't look at that. They just keep looking at employees, thinking that we're the problem.
Hey, you can only slap a Band-Aid on with a pizza party for so long.
Yeah.
Before you realize
pizza
it's
parties.
It's you. You're the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the problem.
And along with the pizza party, the undetermined free soda.
Oh, I know it's not. They pay more though, Brent. I've contemplated it because of the pay.
Yeah.
If I went to UPS right now and actually got a driver job, I'd be making $10 more than what I make right now.
Well, I know when In-N-Out Burger decides to start hiring here, there's a lot of people that are planning on going to try to get hired there.
Mm-hmm.
As far as fast food goes, because they're saying that they're going to be paying their workers $20 an hour.
Wow, that's funny because all the ones down here in Denver are all 18.
Yeah. I think what it is...
And they hire a lot of people too. Like, I have to deliver to an In-N-Out and pick up. There's like at least 10 to 20 people working at
Oh, that's why I couldn't see it.
It's crazy.
I mean...
If you can. I didn't hear it. I didn't see that because I had a thing up. Sorry.
Anyway. Yeah, no, I honestly think that they're saying that it's up to $20 an hour just to get people to
Apply.
come and come in for an interview.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they'll actually be paying $20 an hour.
Not for fast food. Most places I see, like they say that, and then you get in, and there's like, well, this is actually how much you're getting paid. Like, wait.
Well, all my friends who work fast food right now, they're all looking for new jobs because, like, they're not getting paid that much,
Yeah.
and they need more money.
I mean, Colorado's booming right now still.
That's the
And
noise I keep hearing every morning.
trying to actually keep up with the
keep
pay and all
hearing.
that's hard. Like, the cost of living and everything keeps just going up.
Yeah. It's not getting better on that front.
Which annoys me, but there's not much we can do about it, though.
Nope.
Mm.
Not a damn.
There could be something that we could do to it, but I don't know if it would actually work. So
Mm-hmm.
me and Bill actually talk about this type of stuff off air.
Yeah. That's kind of the same thing. Like, I think about it all the time, and it kind of sucks. Like, I hate having to think about it every day. But
Yep. It's kind of what I was just oddly saying to my wife just a minute ago. All I
that whole,
really
like,
want.
all of us are looking at, like, probably leaving Colorado, which...
Well, it's not leaving Colorado because it doesn't really matter where you go elsewhere. I mean, unless you go out to the middle of nowhere, Nebraska.
Which
There's,
I do not
So
want to
it's
do.
still expensive.
yeah.
It's still expensive in Nebraska. I hate to
I'm just saying,
break
like,
it to you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is it doesn't matter where you go.
Alabama.
You're better off. Yeah, unless you go to one of the deep South states where they've managed to cut all of everything down, but then you're compensating by paying a lot more in all of the things you do every day.
I'm gonna say a controversial statement, and I don't care if you disagree with me.
I disagree with you.
I blame all the Californians who leave their state and go to others. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but could be.
Proven point.
No, it's. I don't think it's just Californians, but it's anybody that's coming here because they sold their properties or whatever they had for $2-3 million. They come here and then they just start buying out everything because they have it in cash.
It's basically everyone's like, well, you can buy an affordable house, and it's like I lucked out on my house because I wasn't an asshole to the person who owned it.
Like, I'm actually surprised now that the actual market right now, there are finally condos again for $200,000 that are decent.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's the hardest part. Like, those all disappeared for a long time.
The condos that are being built like near my house right now, like, and this is in Loveland, they look like apartments. They don't look like condos.
Yeah,
but they're going for $300,000.
Yeah. Plus HOA fees too.
Right. And I'm sorry, like, condo HOAs are ridiculous. They charge you for things and then they never actually explain where those features are, how they affect your home specifically. Like, me and Bill paid for a water feature. We were supposed to have a lake in our neighborhood down in Colorado Springs when we lived in a condo-like house. It was like a row house or something like that. And this is in Colorado, okay? The company that managed the HOA, like, daily, day-to-day functions, like lawn maintenance, everything like that, they're based out of California. I want to preference this because not all HOAs in Colorado are based out of California. This one was.
Here, and it's still kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah. So, this HOA charged me and Bill for a lake and a water feature for drainage runoff. Me and Bill knew exactly where the drainage runoff went. It went into a canal, not a lake. Nowhere in the vicinity of the entire neighborhood was a lake, nor was there a pond. So they had a fictitious thing in the actual documentation. Then they said the park was part of their maintenance. Well, everyone found out that the park is actually owned by the city. So the maintenance crew were always from the city. So how is that our fees? Again, charging us for something that we didn't need to pay for. So...
yeah.
Yeah, like I
And
when
then
I
people
see,
wonder why I'm very anti HOA.
yeah, I
I
mean,
am to a point.
yeah, because when we were looking for a house, we specifically said no HOA, no HOA, no HOA. Well, it turns out we found a house that actually was an HOA property at one point, but they disbanded the HOA because no one wanted to pay the fees.
Right.
Like everyone just stopped, and that's why I have like this ridiculous like lantern in my front yard. I can never turn off. I can never turn it on because it's on a timer by the city, and the city requires me to have it on the front of my house.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lantern?
Yeah. There's a lantern in my front yard that turns on at dusk.
Oh.
So, also I live that doesn't like gas burning fireplaces. Sorry, that doesn't like wood burning fireplaces and doesn't like gas stoves. And they won't allow us. And they make the plus side is they make enough electricity cheap enough for people to have in the city because they have their own electrical. So a lot of places that do like solar panels and stuff won't sell in the city. In this city.
Oh, solar panels.
Yeah, solar panels. Sorry.
I'm glad you reminded me of that. Yeah, yesterday we got a little thingy on our door saying Excel has confirmed that your solar panel system is operating normally. You may turn it up at your leisure, which is great. Okay, so now I need to make a call today to the solar panel company to come out here and turn them on.
Yeah.
So maybe our
But I mean, but going back to my California comment, my sister who lived in California for years, my two nephews were born in California. They now live in New Hampshire because they didn't want to deal with the pricing and the stuff that they had to deal with in California anymore.
Yep.
Now they're in New Hampshire because there is actually cheaper than California. So
yeah, my friends just moved from San Diego to Vegas for that reason.
Yeah, Vegas surprisingly is actually very affordable to live.
Not the best place to live, but yeah, it's very affordable.
Yeah,
that's how you trade. That's the trade-off. That's the trade-off.
Yeah, the trade-off is like, yeah, you can live there. It's affordable, but
you have to deal with the fact that
probably not the greatest.
It's not the world's best place. Yeah.
That, and it's mostly a lot of people that go. Like, it's a tourist town.
It's a tourist town. It's like all tourist towns.
All right. Well, I'm done with this. I don't
No,
want to watch. I'm not even showing you guys because I'm not proud of this sketch. But I did this sketch.
You did too. Good job.
You're like, I checked in. I did the thing.
I did the sketch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if my PC is on. Quit sweating.
Yep. All right. There we go. Generally speaking, we don't talk about the astronet at this point because we're on the wrong side. But that's okay. When you are on the correct side of the wall, it's like the railroad tracks in my story. You're on the wrong side of the tracks.
So, what were you guys talking about?
I was saying that if you're on this side of the wall, then that's when you can get astronet. And when you're on the other side of the wall in my story, you're on the wrong side of the tracks.
So, where my mom's house is in Florida, there's a train track right there.
Yep.
So I grew up basically telling people if you went over the train tracks, you went too far. And so, like, when people would sit there and ask for directions of my house, I would tell them, if you're coming up this way, go turn here and then turn down this street, and then you'll get to the road where my house is off of. And they're like, oh, okay. And like, I'm like, where are you going? And they're like, I haven't seen the street. And I'm like, you passed it already. We're going over train tracks.
Yep.
So here's my neighborhood. The neighborhood right here has like the elementary school. Across the street from the elementary school is the police station, right? Go over the train tracks and you have a full gated HOA community that is filled with nothing but people over 50.
Nice. Retirement community.
Yeah. So, but people from the retirement community thought our houses and everything were actually where the bad part of our neighborhood was, and that was not the bad part. It was just the weird part. Hence for the reason why I'm weird.
Yeah.
I also could just walk like maybe 2 or 3 blocks and get to the ocean, so
That's always nice.
yeah.
There were tracks near my grandparents' house, and when I was a little kid, I'd hear the train, down the way, and I'd be like, Papa, I hear a choo choo, and he'd grab me and put me in his truck, and we'd drive down to the track so he could watch the train go by. And it was like something he really just got a kick out of, and he got a kick out of telling the story of that for the rest of his life.
I'll be right back.
And so,
Yeah.
yep.
I had a lot of fun with those train tracks, though.
No,
I
not
will say,
Astro, Brent. Astra. It's Ad Astra, to the stars. It's spelled that way.
no.
Sorry, Brent is like going out there looking for Astronet, and I'm like, not Astro, Astra. Astra is Latin for star. Ad Astra would be to the stars or for the stars. I doubt that's available. Huh. Astra.net is taken. So I was wondering. Yeah, that was pretty expensive. Wow, Astronet Online. Yeah, astronet.com is $35,000. I did see that Astronet Online wasn't so bad. That's funny. Astronet.online, which would also fit.
Oh, no, that's a spam call.
Yeah, that's what I had. That one, I saw that one too.
Nope.
Wonder if we would do that. That'd be kind of cool, actually.
God, there's a lot of art on this page. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I make this 1,000,000 panels?
Because you thought it would be good. I'm sorry, you asked a question.
Yes, I did. And I got an answer.
I kind of like Astronet Online, astronet.online, because then it could actually be what the astronet will say to you. It's either astronet.online or it could be astronet.offline. Make that part of the story. The question, Brent, is do you want to build a website out there on that?
I build a website.
Do you want to build a website?
It
I can
doesn't
pick it
have
up
to be
on all the other things that I
a
have.
website.
Hey, I sold one of my websites not that long ago, like maybe a few years ago, actually.
And
And I sold it for $250.
that's pretty much what I did.
Nice.
So, by the way, Guy, I don't know why I keep hearing you say gastronet.
Gastrolnet. It's what'll be coming up soon because all of us need to go to lunch.
Oh wow, it's already one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's because
I'm
we came
gonna hop
online
off
late.
of here because I'm gonna get something for lunch and then I'll be back later.
Yeah.
That we've been almost going 2 hours. So
There we go.
Yeah, I might do that too. So I can go get some lunch. But since I'm off for the rest of the week, I'll probably jump in and out throughout the mornings.
If you want to, barely an inconvenience. If you want to do that, Brent, that would be awesome. Just go ahead and snag that because I actually like that. I mean, we can make this part of the vernacular that when the astronet's working, it looks like this, and when it's not working, it looks like that. And that's just part of the vernacular of the comic book, and that would actually fit in with the website really well. And I could actually maybe even name an episode of the show Astronet Offline and have it be oh no, we have no connection to the Bellatrix universe. What could we do? Captain, what should we do? I still have a couple of open episodes that don't have a plot to them yet. They have the overriding big arc plotted in, but not the little arc. Not what each episode's about. So
All right, I'm gonna take off.
peace out. Okay,
Bye.
Have a great
see you
day,
later, man.
guys.
Actually,
I'm
think
also on
unless
it.
are you hanging out here for any particular reason there, Pepper? You
All
want
right,
to
if
hang on? Or?
everyone's leaving, I'll leave. I have no problem with that. Are you
Well,
trying
Guy
to
was
say you
wondering
don't
if you
want me
wanted to
on the
still
show
hang
no
out.
more?
Well,
I think Guy wants to know if he still wants to hang out.
I don't. No, actually, I was thinking about going and getting lunch. I need to get a bag of ice, and so now that I'm no
Okay.
longer, directly quarantined, I can now go to McDonald's drive-through and get a bag of ice now. So I was like, go do that.
Okay. I mean,
And
if you wanna go and do that, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be
No
back
problem.
on later on tonight.
All right.
So, cool.
So- All right.
Well, then I will go on ahead and just run the end credits, and we'll get out of here. And I'll see you guys tonight. Hey, it was good to see you, Colton. I'm
Yeah,
glad
it's
to
good
see you.
seeing all you as well.
I'm glad you're feeling better, Pepper. I was kind of worried about you because you kind of vanished. You weren't feeling well, and I knew that. I got that. So, anyway,
Mhm.
thanks, Brent, for being here. We also had like a couple of new people here that were on this particular show. I noticed we had a couple of new folks. Stitch Silent was here for a little while, and we had Jan. Hell yeah, was here for just a second, but I didn't see much more. Of course, we had Jerry here. I miss Jerry. We had Kat here a lot, and I'm glad to have Kat here all the time. Well, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. We had one other I seem to remember. Can't remember the name. We had one other while I was talking to my wife. Yes. Abade. I think that's what it was. So, cool. Okay, well, thank you all for being here today, and we'll see you. We broadcast every night and every morning, but this time we broadcast in kind of an odd time period. I'm kind of thinking it was pretty popular. So, anyway, I will see you all a little later on, and as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.
Bye.